Hi, everyone. Martin Harrison here. I'm a senior partner at McKinsey based in the Bay Area, and I lead our software practice. And it's a real pleasure to join you for this Acronis event. I want to spend the next few minutes on what I think is the most important question facing every software business, and especially every service provider right now. What does AI actually change about how we deliver value to customers, and how fast does that change need to happen? I'll share 5 things that we're seeing across the enterprises we work with, and what I think they mean for service providers specifically. The first one is the simplest, but also sometimes the most underappreciated. AI lets us do things in software development that genuinely weren't possible before, not just faster versions of how we used to do work. We can release software at a pace we couldn't sustain previously. We can automate complex multi-step workflows that used to require human judgment at every node. And we can customize and localize products across countries, customer segments, and use cases at a scale that was previously prohibitively expensive. In our most recent McKinsey research on AI and software engineering, we've seen task-level productivity improvements ranging from 35% but up to 65% and sometimes even more on specific coding tasks. Teams aren't just doing yesterday's work faster. They're doing work that they wouldn't have attempted at all in the past. The second point follows directly from this. When the cost of building software collapses, and it is collapsing, smaller companies can do what only large companies could do before. A team of 4 or 5 engineers with a strong AI mindset and AI toolings today can ship product, support multiple geographies, or run a global go-to-market motion that would have required often at least 10 or 15 or more people before. Our broader research consistently shows that AI adoption is rising sharply year over year, well past the majority of large organizations. But the more telling shift is where the new capability is showing up. It's not just at the incumbents, it's actually even more prevalent at new entrants who have nothing to defend and everything to gain, and therefore build even more quickly than incumbents. The implication for any services business is that you should assume that your competitive set just got wider, faster, and more global. The third point is the one I want to spend the most time on because it's the audience for this event. Service providers of different types, MSPs, IT service partners, and really anyone who sits between the technology and the end customer are facing 4 pressures at once, and I believe they're compounding. So first, the competition has gotten more global. The MSP your customer compared you to 5 years ago was in the region. The MSP they compare you to today might be in another continent, and the customer won't know the difference. Second, your customers are relocating IT budgets towards AI budgets today already. The pie isn't growing as fast as the AI line item within it, which means that traditional service revenue has to defend itself or expand into the new space that's created with these AI budgets. Third, customer expectations of what a major service provider should deliver is growing, and it's growing fast. Last year's good enough support model might not be enough this year. And fourth, this is the opportunity. AI creates a new category of revenue for service providers, protecting AI workloads, managing AI infrastructure, automating customer workflows with AI, or securing the data that AI consumes and produces. There's lots of opportunities, and I think that's perhaps the most important part here. The service provider who will win in the next 5 years are those who treat all 4 of these at once and not just a subset or doing it sequentially. The fourth major point is what does an AI integrated service business actually look like? And it has a few aspects to it. Maybe first, a meaningful share of work will be done by agents, not just productivity tools used by humans, but autonomous and semi-autonomous workflows that complete tasks end to end. The threshold for what counts as the work is shifting, and so more and more workflows is up for grabs. Secondly, every tool in the stack needs to be AI ready, meaning it works for people and it works for agents. So tools that are designed only for humans have a risk of becoming bottlenecks. And this, is effectively most tools that are out there today. But tools that are designed only for agents also leave humans without context. So both audiences will really matter here going forward. Then it's integration. Point solutions are getting commoditized faster than others. So customers want a coherent stack, not 10 products with overlapping capabilities and inconsistent governance. Therefore, integration becomes really critical when you think about what your stack looks like. And then finally, security and data protection cannot be the afterthought they often used to be. AI has really changed the game on security. It used to be the case that the time between vulnerability and exploit was counted in months and even years, actually relatively recently. The 0-day clock is now down to 10 hours, and it's expected to be in minutes by the end of this year. And so you have to build in security into your workflows and into your solutions and into your products. And then finally, wrapping up, a quick note, and the reason that I'm pleased to be part of this event. I think Acronis has a really long track record of helping partners navigate transformation. If you look back to cloud and then shift to managed services, and now we have the integration of AI into protection management and automation. So I think this event that you're here today will be really relevant for all of you. So my close on all of this. I covered a lot of different things in a short amount of time, which I guess is also symbolic of where we are today. The pace of change in software and in service delivery is fast, and it's real. And I think we've seen in 2026 compared to even last year that most companies are not just sitting around now. They're actually putting AI workflows into production, and they're moving fast. And so this is something that will create both winners and losers, as every change does. But if you're leaning forward and you're treating this as an opportunity and are willing and bold to change, this can create massive opportunity.